Hello, so I've just been sent a microphone from a company called KIMAFUN, who I'd not heard of before. So I thought I'd give it a try out, see what it's like. You can probably see I've got two mics clips onto my saxophone. I'm going to compare it with the NUX B6, which is the wireless mic I've been using up to now. I guess they're kind of competitors to each other. I've also got a condenser mic set up, so you can hear the difference between the wireless mics and the condenser. I'm just going to play a few bits and I'll kind of switch between the microphones so you can hear the difference. So I'm going to start on my classical setup, then I'll play a bit on my jazz setup as well. So here we go. So there you've heard a little bit on the classical setup and the jazz setup, switching between the two. So I'm going to take a listen to them, see how they sound, and then come back and tell you what I think. So I just had a bit of a listen back to those. I'd be really interested to know what you think, so shove in the comments what you think about the sound of the different mics. But I'll tell you, for me, what I find, I mean, it's no surprise that the condenser is the best sound. I don't know if I said before, it's an AKG C414, that's what I often use recording in this room. But it's kind of, that's the recording application. The wireless mics you're more likely to be using live. For me, there's more depth to the sound on the NUX. It's pretty good, it's got quite a good depth to the sound, but you do get quite a lot of the key noise on it. And actually I've been using that mic live, and it's pretty good. You don't have any problems with feedback. It projects across, and actually I've not had any complaints from sound engineers about the key noise yet, so I'm surprised how much I'm hearing recording that back. To be honest, you could probably take quite a bit of that out with some EQ. So I should have said those recordings were completely unprocessed in this lovely, dry, horrible room, but that gives you the truest sound. Then the KIMAFUN is an interesting one, because for me the key noise isn't quite as bad, but the sound on it is quite bright and it sounds a little bit thin compared with the NUX. The NUX is quite dark, the KIMAFUN's quite bright. In a way that could be quite nice if you're playing kind of jazz, pop, funk stuff. It'll help you cut through. It sounds to me as though the sound is almost being compressed before it even gets into the computer. So I'm just recording those on my audio interface. It's just a Focusrite Scarlett thing, pretty standard. And yeah, the sound, it definitely loses the depth. You notice it on the classical one. For me, it's not nearly as rich as the NUX, but the flip side is you get that great brightness, so you could use it for kind of pop funk stuff. So I guess a couple of other things to think about are kind of what these come with. So I'll just show you the setup. So this is the NUX. It's in a neat little case. Personally, I think this is great. It's tiny. If I open it up, I've got all the little bits. So this is the receiver, which is just an XLR. It's just got a button on it, and you'll see if I hit that on, I get this red light. Don't know if you can see that. It's flashing red at the moment because it's not connected, until I take out the transmitter part of the microphone, stick that on. It's got a green light on there, and you see pretty much instantly it's paired, and that's transmitting over wireless. Then the other bit I've got in there is of course the microphone that just screws in there as well. And actually the clip on this is really good. It's really easy to use. Just squeeze that, hook it on your bell, and away you go. Something I should say with this that has been an issue is if you're outside in bright light, it can be really difficult to see if that light is on or not, which can give you a bit of the scare. I had a gig I was going on stage and went to turn it on, seemingly nothing happened. I thought it wasn't working, but it was just because there was bright sunlight and that light wasn't strong enough, so I couldn't see it. So that's something just to be aware of. But if you've got your receiver in sight, if you can see the green light on that, you know you're all good. The other thing about this is it does have different modes. So if I press that, I don't know if you can see that light is changing colour. They're nominally different EQs. They're an alto, soprano and tenor. To be honest, I think that's pretty redundant. You should be doing that on the sound desk or somewhere else rather than from the mic. I've found with all of them, I just leave it on the green, which is the alto. I find that works best through everything as a kind of pretty basic EQ. So that's kind of what you get with the NUX. It's worth saying as well, the case I really like on this because it's really neat. It packs down really small, all the bits go in it. There's just about space to get some in-ear monitors in there if you want. The other thing about it is it charges, so the microphone charges from the case. So the case has got a built-in battery. If I press, there's a button on there I can press and it will show me how much battery the case has left, so you know when you need to charge it. Something to be aware of that catches people out on this is they think they put the microphone in the case and it'll start charging automatically. It doesn't actually. It doesn't start charging unless you press that button. Luckily for me, I'm always kind of, keen to know how much battery I've got left, so I tend to press that every time I put it away and then it charges it automatically. But I do know people that have been caught out with that. Also, there's no way of knowing how much battery the actual units have got left. You can only see what's in the case. So I'd advise just charging it every gig. But I mean, the case battery lasts a really long time. I mean, it can do probably 4 or 5 gigs or something before it's running out. To be honest, I never let it get that low, but it's got a really good battery on that. So that's your NUX B6. Just the comparison, this is the KIMAFUN. You can see it's quite a bit bigger, the case. Weight-wise, probably about the same. I think the KIMAFUN one's a bit lighter actually, but that's kind of gives you the size. And if I open this one up to show you the different bits you've got in here, you've got the microphone itself, and this is the transmitter on the microphone. It's actually quite a chunky thing, this. It's quite a lot bigger than the NUX. It has got a few neat things on it though. If I turn it on, one of the things I like on this is it has a battery light on the actual unit, so I can tell how much battery life this has, not just the case on the other one. It's also got a button so I can switch channels. So with the NUX, that's meant to automatically switch channels to avoid any interference. So if your wireless frequency is full, it will just switch channel automatically. This one, you can actually manually change the channel. So if you've got any interference, you can press the button, and you've just got to press the button on the receiver part as well. And again, that will kind of change across so they match up. And again, when I turn on this receiver, if I press the on button rather than the channel button, again, I get the green lights just to show me it's all good, and I've got a battery light on this as well. Again, this receiver is quite a chunky thing. It's bigger than the NUX one, but you do have the added benefit of being able to switch the channel and seeing the actual battery life on it. The other thing that slightly concerns me with this, but for some people might be an advantage, is on the KIMAFUN we've got a jack connector here, whereas on the NUX we've got an XLR connector. I would always favour an XLR. Most desks are XLRs, and I'm not quite sure why they've got a jack with this. I guess there are some units where you could use it. Maybe if you wanted to plug it straight into a guitar foot pedal or something, it could be an advantage. But that's the thing to bear in mind with that. So I mean, overall, as to which one I'd go with, they're both great units, to be honest, and for the price, it's pretty amazing you can get these for the price. Before I started using the NUX, I had an AMT thing that I've had for years that was at least 10 times the price, and that worked on radio frequencies, and thanks to radio frequencies all being reallocated, that one's technically not legal to use the wireless anymore. So it's amazing what we've got for the price. For my money, the NUX has the better sound, and I like kind of the neatness of this really small compact case just to carry around. The KIMAFUN, however, has the advantage, you've got the battery life on here, you can manually switch the channels, and it is cheaper as well. It's only about 2/3 of the price. So if you are kind of pushed the price, it's well worth checking out the KIMAFUN microphone. But anyway, that gives you a bit of an overview over that. The KIMAFUN microphone, the NUX microphone, I'll put links to find them below. Let me know if you try them out, let me know what you think. It'd be great to hear your thoughts, and I hope that video has been useful. Bye for now.